Hello, good afternoon. Good evening, good afternoon, or whatever it's where you are. It's Thursday, so it's Rokk Players time, and with me today I have my lovely co-host Josiah Martinez. Welcome.
How's it going?
Thank you for joining me as always. And below me we have Lo-Fi. Welcome to the show. Thank you. It's been a while since we had you, but always fun to have you on. So welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up with you guys? What have you been playing since I last saw you? And I know I saw both of you on during the gaming for mental health this weekend, but I'm sure you played other things as well.
Oh yeah. I've been playing Shadow Warrior 3 on Game Pass, and then I've been playing Days Gone.
Nice.
How are you liking Days Gone? Because I think that's isn't that one of
I
Rock's
like it.
favorites?
I really like it. It's everybody's into what's that game Last of Us because the show or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to play that either, but I didn't really want to spoil the show, and I didn't want to spoil the game, so I was like,
Hey,
I'm
you
gonna
went for
watch the
something in
show
between.
first. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got that Days Gone as well, and I haven't started it yet, but I'm definitely excited to eventually get around to playing that game because it looks like a blast.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think I've only heard good things about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's a good game, especially if you're into zombie survival.
Yeah, and I think it's getting a movie like a movie spin-off of it as well. So
Oh, that would be good. Dude, I don't know. I'm a Days Gone noob. I'm just now playing it, so I know it came out in like 2019, but yeah, no, but it's definitely like so far been one of my favorite experiences in the past like at least 6 months. Well, I'll put it this way: since Far Cry, everybody knows
nice.
my a million streams of Far Cry.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I actually played a new game today called um. I gotta check this out because I've already forgotten the name. No, Road Warden. There we go. Road Warden, which is it's like you remember those old text-based like text-based RPGs from back in the day, like where you
Yeah.
yeah like mostly like a lot of like wall text and then like some dialogue options and then maybe the occasional like go left you right or something like that. So basically inspired of those, but but with a like more modern take on them. And you play basically as a road warden. It's like here's a fantasy world. It's very dangerous, and we have these called road wardens who walk up and down the roads, basically patrol them. It's a dangerous life, but it pays well. And you play as one of those, and you just walk up and down this road, and all kinds of stories unfold. And it's really well written. I think they had over 600,000 words written for that game, which is about this almost the same as like the old Planescape Torment games, which had I think 800,000. And
Wow.
that's a solo developer who wrote that. That is more than all of Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit combined. So, I mean, it's impressive, and it was really cozy and fun. So, one recommendation. And if you want to take a look at it first, I actually posted a video today on it, the first hour. So yeah.
Nice.
Um, but other than that, we also had. I mean, you guys joined me for your own streams during Gaming for Mental Health. So thank you for that, first of all, and also like how we had a blast. I think at least I did. I think you did as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
congratulations, man. What was the total?
The total in the end, we came up to just shy of $3,000, so $2,998 raised
And
in.
Wow.
that's the most you've raised, right, so far?
Yeah. When I did it when I did the shared stream last year myself, went for 12 hours straight and raised 1,040. So pretty much we tripled what I managed to get last year. And I mean we more than quadrupled the fine. I think I tallied it up to around 100 hours of streams.
Wow.
Oh wow,
In between all of
GG's to
us.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like everyone put in the work. I think there was some people over Twitch streamed for like I saw one stream that would looking at the volume. I was like, how long is this? Oh, it's 12 hours. So someone actually did a 12-hour stream. I think it was yeah, it was a blast. I mean, you guys, what did you guys play? Martinez, you and Hezekiah, you played.
Yeah, we did the Giganosaurus
Yeah,
Dino Kart.
Gigantosaurus.
Yeah, from Outright, and yeah, it was Hezekiah and I's first ever charity stream that we ever done. So we were super excited to just do any sort of charity. So yeah, it was super cool. Great cause. We worked for with the first time ever Guardians for Mental Health. So that was super cool. We put just the base amount because we're like, who knows if we'll even get any sort of donations, and we succeeded. We fulfilled our goal. So yeah, we felt amazing being able to do that. So
Yeah, and Shanduma, we will definitely take that up because that is a great call because I didn't. Rokk is absent today. It's just me and Josiah, and obviously Lo-Fi Monk as well. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about the Humble Bundle because that is a great bundle. Unfortunately, I had basically all of the games in it, and I'm a bit short on cash right now after getting some bundles for the charity event. But that is definitely a great deal. So we'll definitely get into that later down the line. But yeah, well, shall we get started maybe with the housekeeping before we get to the news section?
All right.
I will bring this up. My speed. So, as usual, let's just mention if you're new here and not aware of it, there are some giveaways running from over at Rokk's website. You can win Gigantosaurus on Xbox. You can win Last of Us Part 1 Deluxe Edition on PC, and there's also a giveaway going for the Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and that also includes GeForce Now Ultimate, Game Pass Ultimate, or PS Plus Premium for a month.
Now hold on. Now I'm gonna have to get that Last of Us up off you. I'm gonna need that.
Yeah. Get in there. You have 3 more days for The Last of Us, and then
that's coming up quick.
Yeah, and then Gigantosaurus just the day after that. Plenty of time for Star Wars, but since they pushed the release forward, it was supposed to be quite soon, but no, they pushed it. Yeah, so definitely check that out. I will probably also be running some giveaways over in my Discord for those who hang out in there. So yeah, there will be some and I know also that there are giveaways coming. I think Rokk will be giving away one of the. He actually won a game during the Game of Mental Health, and he basically said, "I already have it, so I'll do that as one of the draws during the Rock Around the Clock." So definitely check that out. But with that out of the way, let's get into the news section. Starting off, we have of course GeForce Now with their Thursday update. We have a lot of new games coming in March, and some of them coming already. So. As I mentioned, also there will be Microsoft titles coming in the future. It will not be right now. Of course, this deal is kind of new to them as well. They have to do the onboarding. It will take a while. Let's have that one. We had the wrong screen going. There we go. So it will take a little while before we see all of them. But they are coming. But nothing is announced this week. But we are getting the Disney Dreamlight Valley. And have you guys played this?
No, I haven't.
No.
Yeah, I've actually tried a little bit. It's it feels like a mix between The Sims meets some slight survival aspects combined to it. It's
Interesting.
It's like a really cozy. It's not necessarily like a crafting game, but there is definitely some,
like Sons of the Forest meets Minecraft. No, I'm joking.
In a way, yeah, but also meets aspects of those things. Meets maybe the Disney World games.
Cool.
There are a couple of those. So it's basically you're dropped into this world. You create your own character. You help out the characters of the Disney World. And Miss Phoenix is playing it as she watches this.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, it's a really cozy game. Really good for kids as well. And also, it has also these Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing vibes as well.
Nice.
Combined with all in a Disney franchise coating. So you you find Mickey or Merlin, and they or like Elsa, and they give you quests to do, like help them out with things, and you do that, and you get some rewards. So then furniture or things to grow in your garden and stuff like that. So yeah, it's actually a really cool game. Definitely not like it's definitely one for the kids, but it's definitely something there as well for the adults. So I mean, if you like Disney characters, give it a go. I think it's I know it's included in Game Pass as well, with also touch support. So like you can play it on your phone. Just try it out on your phone with xCloud if you want to try it before you get into it. And I think it's going to be free to play in the future. Might not. I think it is some sort of like buy-in early access currently, but it will be free to play. And if you buy in now, you get some sort of like bundle specials, like extra cosmetics.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a cool game. Definitely not one worth checking out. New season coming to Battlefield 2042.
Yeah.
Lofa, you play that a bit, quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a diehard. I don't really play when I'm by myself, but I jump in on SPG streams and play with the guys, and with the CGTV game night stuff. We do. That's usually the big draw there, because we can all play at the same time. There's not a limit really.
Yeah.
I think you can have like something like I don't know, something like 50 people in a lobby or something like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I got it downloaded. I need to get on that one of those nights and play.
Wait, you download stuff?
Oh yeah.
Why?
No, you don't know about my PC, bro?
I'm gonna say I played
download?
the other day. And there was an update where like there's like this missile silo that we normally climb up, and there's like an area up there you have to claim.
Yeah.
And we were all shooting it because the enemy had claimed the top portion of this missile silo. And then suddenly the missile silo exploded, and none of us had ever seen that. Like that was, I don't know. They've added some really cool stuff.
Yeah, that's
to
cool.
the new-
I remember seeing that like they have these destructible environments as well.
Yeah, I think that's always kind of the
always
cool thing for Battlefield is, the environments. Being able to be like that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
too
just
bad
roll
at
behind a
competitive
tank
shooters,
and
but
shoot through a wall.
Yeah.
yeah. We're also seeing new content arriving with Destiny this week. So Destiny Lightfall is out now, right? Or yesterday, I think even.
Yeah.
Do you guys play Destiny? I don't. I mean, I know there's a bunch of people in the community who does. I never really dived in.
I used to be a lot more into it. I kind of would take like a little bit of a break now and then. I've been on a really long break now, so now they got this new expansion came out. I did get the expansion, so I'm definitely gonna play it.
Yeah, so you're diving back in.
Yeah.
I feel like you have two options. You can play all the games in your library that get through your backlog, maybe even, or you could play Destiny.
Yeah, you can't do both. It's either or. Yeah. It's
sure.
Classic MMO issues.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one step closer to the conclusion of the Light and Darkness saga. So yeah, that's coming out. Also added this week, three more games on top of these. Monster Hunter Rise, already out, and I played 5 minutes of Monster Hunter Rise on xCloud. It's not a game for me. I can see that it's a good game. Like I've seen like footage of it. It looks really good.
Oh, I played a little bit.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
You take the helmet because you have more of an impression than I do. My impression is meh.
I agree. It's not a game for me either, but maybe I didn't fully experience because I mean, it's supposed to be MMO, and you're supposed to be able to get all your friends in there and battle these monsters, and I didn't get to quite experience that. And it made me think most of the time I'm going to be by myself. Maybe have a couple people I hook up with, and that's what kind of turned me off to it. But maybe I just didn't get into the right crowd. But also on top of it, it's a lot to learn for some. I'm not even used to that type of game. It's a whole lot, and if you like a really in-depth, like grindy, almost Souls-like, it's a tough game, but it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, it looks really good, and I mean it's one of those I have played Like I played the tutorial basically, or like parts. I think honestly, I played 5 minutes of the tutorial. And I was like, I am so bored. It just never gets started. It's like these people keep talking and talking and talking and talking. I just want to get to the gameplay. And eventually, I just went like, nope, I can't anymore. Um, yeah, we're also get. I've opened up these other games in different tabs because I'm kind of curious. Some of these that's in this list I've never heard of. So I think we can take a quick look through them, and just let me know if something catches your fancy, and we'll stop at them. We start out with Voltaire, the vegan vampire, and just the name alone has me curious.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know anything about this game, but that name alone, interesting.
Oh, the art styles. That's
Yeah,
cool.
this reminds me of
Don't Starve or
yeah,
something.
Don't Starve. Oh, this looks fun. So Voltaire, the vegan vampire, rebel against your legacy in this farming action roguelite. That's a
Is it
weird
the
combo.
same?
Farming and action. And then
Is it the
roguelite?
same studio?
Good question. Developer Digital Games. Let's check that out. Yeah, I agree. It very much looks like that.
Even the font they're using, yeah. Oops, sorry.
Hardcore. No. Maybe they've hired some artists who worked on that. That looks very much like.
Really cool looking though.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So 2D roguelite with farming and action combined. Who knew that could work? Next up, we have Rise of Industry, which is obviously free with.
That must be becoming a thing, because then you got also Cult of the Lamb. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, whenever usually when there's a free game on Epic, I know that the GeForce Now team try to make that available as well on GeForce Now when possible. So
Nice.
we are getting free to claim as of now, as of earlier today, and also available on GeForce Now as of earlier today. We have Rise of Industry, which is a tycoon game in the I think 1930s. You basically build up your production intricate production lines while keeping an eye on the all important bottom line. So it's like a tycoon sort of type of game. And my PC did not like me opening 20 tabs at once because there's a lot coming. But yeah,
Is that the free one on Epic?
yeah, free on Epic. So get in there, claim it, try it out. Like if you have GeForce Now, you don't even need to install it. Just claim it, try it out. If you don't like it, then never mind. Yeah, it's a tycoon type of game, and I can't get the images to load, but I think it looks really cool, and I think it's one of those. It's just my style of game. It's also that style of game that I love in theory, but I will probably never really get into because I have like 10 of these games that I really like and really want to play. That is in my backlog that I haven't yet started yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to try this one too, but I do have 20 other like it that I also want to try before that I actually paid for.
That's another thing, yeah, and that's a game that I've been messing with a lot lately. Is a Dyson Sphere program.
Yeah, that
And,
one I bought
that kinda
Navico
reminds me of
SR a while back, which is basically it's basically the spiritual successor to Pharaoh, and then they made a remake of Pharaoh that released just like 6 months later. So I haven't gotten that one yet, but I do have
Wow.
Navico SR, so I do want to play both of those and like compare them because I did love playing Pharaoh as a kid. But yeah, there's some city skyline things in here as well. It seems like with traffic flow and things and stuff. But it's it's all about the industry. It looks cool. So free, try it out. Why not? Next up, we have coming, and these games are coming during the month of March. So we're getting like a quick look at what's coming throughout the month. Obviously, Hotel Renovator. But we don't need to open all of these. Let's open the ones we're interested in. Yeah, so we have Hotel Renovator, and that seems to me like name alone, it seems like one of those simulator games. Like a simulator or management game, or a mix of both. New release on Steam that arrives on March 7th. Clash of Artifacts of Chaos. No idea what that is. and it apparently didn't load at all. While that loads, we have Figment 2, Creed Valley, and I mean Figment 1 was released on Open Stadia Pro back in the day.
Yeah,
You
and
played?
I don't know. Did you see the Bedtime Digital Games tweet just a couple hours ago? They're giving away Figment 1 for free on Steam, so they're
Yep.
giving the original away. So
And
yeah, if
Figment
you
1
never
is
played
available
that,
on that. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Figment 1 is available as well on GeForce Now. So,
nice.
so yeah, and I also saw Rokk tag both you and me in a tweet like of another tweet of theirs being like, "Who's interested in streaming this game on launch day?" So who knows? Maybe we'll see you and Hezekiah play that.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not a
that'd be
Hezekiah
sweet.
game though. I haven't really like.
Yeah,
I was always
I
meaning
kind of
to
was
go
looking
to-
a little bit of the trailers and stuff. It does look like obviously like maybe like a little creepy or something, but I mean it seems fine.
Yeah.
I'd have to see, I guess.
Yeah, Dad tries it first, and then you can try it, son.
Yeah.
One of those. But yeah, that's releases on March 9th. Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 6. That's a mouthful. I remember playing one of those Monster Energy games that was on Stadia. It was decent, but I wouldn't buy one, especially not like.
Did it make you want to drink a Monster Energy drink?
Not at all.
Oh well, then see, they're totally messing up.
Yeah, I think they failed with what they set out to do there. Big
Yeah.
Ambitions. Never heard of that. That's also. Why did I open so many tabs? This was a bad idea. Big Ambitions. We'll leave this up there as well. We can take a look at it later. The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure. New coming March 14th. Have you guys heard of that one before?
Seems familiar.
No.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but it might be one of those names that just
Right.
sounds like all the other names.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Legend, Heroes, Trails, those are three very common words in video game titles. And they have
Right.
the, of, and to as well. So it's like. Assure is probably the only rare word in there. And I mean, considering it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words long title, that's impressive. Small Land Survive the Wilds coming towards the end of the month. Then we have Ravenbound also on like March 30th, and then Dredge as well. So that's going to be March 30th. There's a lot of releases coming. And then also the Great War Western Front for some First World War simulation games. And without dates, we have System Shock which is I'm pretty sure that's the remake and not the old one, because the old one is really old. I'm guessing that has to be the remake. Imperial Dreams, never heard of that one to be honest. Disney Dreamlight Valley, as we talked about before, coming later in March, so not today but later in March. No One Survived, Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga, which also sounds familiar to me. And then Tower of Fantasy.
The
any
small
of
world
those-
looks pretty cool.
Yeah, if I can just get it to open.
It kind of looks like Grounded, except that you're like a fairy.
I mean, that sounds cool.
Or something.
Let's see, what's Ravenbound. There was another one that we scrolled through. I mean, Ravenbound is a fast-paced action game that combines the challenges of a roguelite with the choices of open world, and set in inspired by Scandinavian folklore. So I mean that is interesting to me. I do love me some Scandinavian folklore. We have some creepy shit that I grew up with. So yeah. Okay. So apparently Figment is not on GFN, but it is very low system requirements, so you should be able to run it on those PCs.
Nice.
So also hi Neil.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we have. I mean, Ravenbound looks like graphically it looks really good. I would say, yeah. I mean, this looks like a really good game. Like, I'm not a fan maybe of the style of game, but the setting alone has me very curious. Yeah, definitely check that out. It's planned to release on at the end of March. You said Small Land was interesting. What's this? Oh yeah,
Yeah, kind of looks like Grounded.
but you're a small fairy or elf sort of thing.
Yeah, I saw him doing some kind of city building stuff up in a tree.
Yeah, this looks dope. You can ride right. You can ride a gecko and fight giant moth things with rocks. This looks really fun. Also, one of those you probably need to spend a lot of hours into really get into the game. But I mean, I love that we're seeing more of these.
I mean, he's riding a grasshopper.
Yeah, and like a frog that's twice his size. That's launches into early access on at the end of in about 3 weeks, and will be playable on GeForce Now. That is definitely one to check out. What else do we have in here? So Legend of Heroes Trails Assured. Let's see what this is. It's a Falcom game. It's it's a JRPG. I know that Richie over at Helix Cloud Games loves these games. I think he got into them when one of them was part of Stadia. And I think that was one of his early ones that he played. At least, maybe not the first, but one of the very early ones, and that really got him hooked on the genre. Now it feels like it's always playing these days. So yeah, that's a JRPG launching. I mean, all platforms need a lot of JRPGs. It's like there were Big Ambitions, which was a revolutionary role-playing business simulator. I feel like it could be, I feel like this in theory my sort of game, but I'm not a fan of the setting, so probably not gonna take a look at it myself. But it's always fun to see more of these games should pop up. Dredge single-player fishing adventure. Not what I would have assumed when I saw that name. So, are you guys into fishing?
Like in real life?
Twice. Yeah. I think I fished twice in real life. So.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. I don't do it as much as I like, but I like deep sea fishing.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, this seems like that's something like some deep sea monster thing.
Yeah.
Fishing
Fishing games are always fun though. Hezekiah likes them, and then it seems like any game that we play that ends up having like a side quest or something, somewhere where you can do some sort of fishing, like Animal Crossing or Dragon Ball Z, like Kakarot, like anywhere you can fish in a game, he ends up like doing that forever. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's maybe he'll grow up to become a fisherman. Then.
There you go.
If you're into strategy games and World War One, this dubs itself to be the definitive World War One strategy game. So I mean, if you think you can, it looks like sort of like a Total War meets, set in World War One. So I mean, if you think you can do better than the Great War, then I mean, give it a go. See if you can not lose 1 million lives in.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, try to have less casualties. I mean, if you play this game and end up with less casualties than the real battles, you did a pretty good job. So that's also dropping this month. Let's see, Clash, Artifacts of Chaos. What's this? Talks a lot about the settings. That's some sort of So. Third-person action, maybe some sort of open world. Very focused on the hand-to-hand combat side. It seems. Looks kind of dope. Very unique art style. Anything that you guys are gonna check out?
They need
now that you see it in action.
I mean that Small World thing looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or Small Land, that's what it was. Small Land.
Yeah, Small Land. Yeah, Small Land.
Raven Bound looks cool.
Let's see this.
What is the other one?
Oh, I mean, physics platformers is jumpless. Oh God, no, never. I would never touch this with a 10-foot pole. Is it like I'm bad at platforms as it is? A jumpless precision platformer. Like,
that's
jump.
like a ninja. He could play that.
Yeah,
game.
This is a ninja game. I will never be good at it. It looks like, I mean, if you're good at this platformers, this could be a really cool challenge. So I mean, I would be curious to see the mechanics, but God no, I would be so bad at that. And then we have No One Survived, which is dropping sometime in March on GFN. It's a multiplayer cooperative open world construction survival sandbox game. So, yeah, I mean, looks like I don't, just from looking at these images, it doesn't look very much like, unlike most of the others. But this is a genre that's getting a lot of games dropping. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if you like the genre,
there's obviously a big market for it because they keep on pumping them out. So
yeah, definitely. Have anyone of you played the old System Shock that arrived in 1994?
No.
So then, I mean, because this is obviously the dropping later this month is the remake. So like, it's not every day you see a game from 1994 being remade. If we can get some footage.
Interesting.
I mean, this is like a very early cyberpunk game. If I remember correctly, and like a shooter in the style of, like, I think it's a first-person shooter. But this looks really good for a like, especially.
Oh, wow.
Considering it's, I mean, this was like the original one was considered to be quite groundbreaking in the like the eras of the original Doom. You gotta keep in mind. But yeah, cyberpunk first-person shooter.
it actually looks good.
Yeah, don't miss out on System Shock. It seems like very much on the like cyber part of cyberpunk, more cyber than punk maybe.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Like I said, I'm playing Shadow Warrior 3, and that's kind of the same feel it's got. It's kind of like a Doom Eternal, except that you're like a ninja. So like, I'm totally open to a game like this.
Yeah, then definitely check this one out. I think there's a documentary as well on NoClip about it. It's been going, like, as I said, like I think they've been working on this remake for years now. So yeah, definitely check that one out. But Symphony of War, which is another JRPG with overwhelmingly positive reviews. So this is definitely one to check out.
Hey, Bruce and Send It O'Reilly, thanks for jumping in.
Hey guys. Send It O'Reilly is also all about the fishing.
Yeah. I never played Stardew Valley actually.
I've started it 5 times and never gotten past the tutorial because I keep getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
So Tower of Fantasy, it's a let's see. So it's a shared open world RPG with anime infused sci-fi adventure. So sci-fi meets fantasy in free to play as well. So I mean, if you can, yeah. So it's an open world MMO with anime, sci-fi, and fantasy combined. So it's a MMO RPG out of Asia. If you feel you need more MMORPGs, it's one to take a look at. Although if we're speaking MMORPGs, I will always opt for telling people to play Guild Wars 2 because I love that game. But you can fish in this one too. So I mean, there's fishing. That's always a bonus. But with that out of the way, I think that's not it, because it's also so then they have a bit of a recap from like some of the big releases from last month, with the biggest one obviously being Baldur's Gate 3, which is always going to be the biggest game anyone can list because it's the best game ever. And it's not in here, but I know that I've seen somewhere else. Hang on. There's like status page or something like that for see, there's a status page for you now. Let's bring that one up because I'm pretty sure that we have some more systems coming up. This might not be the right one, but we can use this maybe anyway. So if you're playing on GeForce Now and you have GeForce Now Ultimate, yeah, no, this wasn't the page I was thinking of. But the Chicago, yeah, there we go. Chicago, you now have 4080s available. So if you have GeForce Now Ultimate and live in the Chicago area, you will now have access to 4080s, which is really good for the Midwest.
Nice.
So yeah, that's cool. And obviously more of these will be popping up as we go.
Woo.
But so far they've been doing. It's one like I think they did a few like 2 or 3 at once a few times. So I mean if they do like push it out over time, I think they're averaging maybe 1 a week, which is really impressive. Because I mean installing like new server racks, that's a lot of work. But yeah, let's move on to some non-GeForce Now stories, and lead with some Baldur's Gate. Did you guys see that Baldur's Gate is announced for to releasing day and date on PlayStation? PS5 will be getting so when it leaves early access, the PS5 will be getting Baldur's Gate as well, which is really cool.
Oh,
and
wow.
they also meant that will also bring local co-op as well. So we're playing with the controller, you can use then 2 controllers and have split screen co-op, and you can one of you can be in a cutscene, but the other one goes around and loots. It's a full thing.
Nice.
Two players split screen is available on PlayStation. It was, however, so currently announced with an August 31st release for PS5, PC, Mac, and GeForce Now. However, they were then asked like, where's the Xbox version? And what they basically said was like, we have a Xbox version that we're working on, but we have run into some technical issues in developing the Xbox port, but has stopped us feeling 100% confident in announcing the port itself until we are certain we found the right solutions. Specifically, we have been unable to get split-screen co-op to work to the same standard on both the Series X and the Series S, which is a requirement for us to ship. So basically, they are finding that the performance disparities between Series S and X is causing them issues. It's causing them to not be able to bring it over. So, I mean, what do you make of it? Do you think we will get to a point where they will, do you think they will make it, first of all? But also, do you think do you think the having the Series S will become a problem for Xbox going forward?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, hard to say.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a tough one.
I guess we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's and I can respect that they're like, we want to make sure each version lives up to our standards and expectations, which is, I mean, obviously a good thing. Yeah, I do hope that it arrives on Xbox as well, because it is, as I've said before, and I'll probably say many times again, it's the best game ever made in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it has fishing. If Baldur's Gate has fishing though at this point, but I hope they. If not, I'm sure they will be adding it later on, because I mean you can fish
Right.
in D&D, so why not in Baldur's Gate?
Mhm.
You might not be able to out the gate though.
Be on the lookout for that fishing DLC.
Yeah, or I mean, or if you're playing if you're not playing in the cloud but on a local PC, you can probably find mods for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Baldur's Gate-
Speaking of this game, did you guys see too that it's that Baldur's Gate is the enhanced edition is free in Prime Gaming?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh
so
my God! Claim
so that's
that,
definitely
that
one you
game
could
is-
claim it. I think
Ooh.
it's until like the beginning of next month, so you have this month to claim it.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely claim that, because that is good. Like, I was checking earlier today and they hadn't added anything. So I was like, oh, well, I guess we're not getting any new games to Prime today.
Yeah.
So let's bring that up later then, because I definitely want to check out. No, but I mean, Baldur's Gate 1 is incredible. Like, it holds up so well to this day. It's a completely different game from like Baldur's Gate 3, because it's an isometric, like almost top-down kind of thing. And like real-time combat with where you can pause to think about what you're gonna do and everything. And it's based on D&D 2.5 edition, which is obviously very old. But like it's a game that holds up incredibly well. Super good game. And yeah. Obviously, the UK still tracks physical game sales, and I mean this was a kind of big week for in terms of launch, like high profile launches.
Yeah.
So I mean you had like a Dragon Ishin launching, you had Atomic Heart launching, you had Octopath Traveler 2 launching, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe launched this week, and they all made it to the top 10 list of physical sales in the UK. But I mean, look at Hogwarts Legacy just maintaining that
Dang.
top position. Damn.
Hmm.
I mean, FIFA is always going to be at the top, but like
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy is still being
Yeah.
part of God of War Ragnarok, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like Call of Duty, Minecraft, like the games that are always on that list, always in the top. But Hogwarts Legacy is. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Hogwarts Legacy on this list in like summer,
Yeah.
because it seems to be selling that well.
Hmm.
But you guys play Hogwarts? I mean, I have. I've played it, streamed it even, but
I
you
have
played
it. It's I just haven't started yet. I have a lot of
Yeah,
games
I
like
haven't
that.
played it.
Like,
I've not played it.
I mean, it's probably good that you haven't started because like that first hour,
Yeah.
it hooks you so well.
Yeah.
Like that opening is like it sinks its claws into you so tightly and just never lets go. Like I'm debating like, do I want to sacrifice sleep after the show today and play Hogwarts Legacy for 2 hours? I probably will, and I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's no, it's super good. So yeah, moving on then. I'm a big fan of like everything Paradox now releases. Like I don't think I've played to this date played a Paradox game that I didn't like. Um, so Paradox announcement show 2023 presented by Xbox is happening on March the 6th. So definitely first of all check that out for sure. But also they do have some. They've hinted at which studios will be there. So we'll see if you can guess what we might be getting. Colossal Order returns. The genre-defining studio behind Smash global hit City Skylines will reveal their newest incredible game. Any guesses as to what that might be? Thinking
It's gonna be-
maybe a City Skylines 2, possibly.
Whoa.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
I
or
know that.
yeah, it could be like, obviously like different aesthetics, a different scene,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I know that they're gonna announce the second one. I'm just gonna say I mean, might be the case that I have in the past play tested an early version of Cities Skylines 2, so they're probably still working on it. So I mean, the odds are quite high that we're
Nice.
seeing that, because I do know that they are working on it, and it was also leaked in as part of the. Do you remember that big Nvidia leak when GeForce Now? I think it was the GeForce Now team actually who, like, there was a leak from the GeForce Now team with like all the list of all Steam games that had opted in, like that had at some point been used on a GeForce Now server. Do you remember that? I think it was like last year or something. It was like 3,000 games in there. It was like and like Ratchet and Clank was in there, and,
Oh,
like
yeah.
God of War. And I was like, no, there's no way this is real. Because God of War is in there, and I was like, that was before God of War PC was even announced. And then it turned out that like no, I mean, not only did God of War come to PC, it also came to GeForce Now for a while. So yeah, it was in even in that list.
That's crazy.
And I wouldn't say that I have tried City Skylines 2, but if I had tried it, it was probably even before that, so very early on. But yeah, we're also getting some new stuff from Harebrained Schemes. And also, by the way, I was gonna say I'm a big fan of City Skylines, so City Skylines 2 is going to be a must play for me. So Harebrained Schemes, the team behind Shadowrun, which is like a cyberpunk D&D-ish isometric XCOM game with like RPG elements, and then the Hulking Mech Warfare BattleTech, which is like turn-based BattleTech game with like giant mechs fighting it out on a battlefield. They're going to bring video game storytelling home, so some sort of interesting to see what's cooking over there. Then Paradox Tectonic, which one? It's also the first time I'm hearing of that studio. But it's being led by visionary Rod Humble, and they're going to unveil a new groundbreaking project. And I mean, considering it's called Tectonic and like the groundbreaking, in my like I'm thinking some sort of like mining game. Yes,
Yeah.
it could be groundbreaking as in, oh shit, this is super cool. It could also be like, no, we're like breaking ground. We're like it's a mining simulator or something like that. Like it could go either way. I mean,
Interesting.
and then expect to host news from the Greater Family with reviews from Crusader Kings 3, Europa Universalis 4, and several announcements from Paradox Arc. And Paradox Arc is their indie branch, or indie publishing branch. So yeah, definitely don't miss that. And I mean, presented by Xbox partner GeForce Now. Cloud gaming
Nice.
relevant. Nice to see that.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely.
And when is this happening again?
So it's on March 6th, meaning that's hang on.
Okay.
On Monday, actually. So Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, right after work for me. I mean, I'm gonna have to see if I can get the kids in, like, get away from the kids for a few hours and maybe like do a live stream of that, like of this, because it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Or maybe I think I maybe hold off to watching it and then do like as soon as the kids are in bed, sit down and watch it with do a watch along thing. Because I mean, as I said, I'm a big Paradox fan. Yeah, definitely check that. Don't miss that one.
Yeah, I thought I heard something about that, like, well, just rumors, obviously, but that there's going to be like basically like a competitor for The Sims that they're going to reveal at that event.
That would be so good because The Sims needs competition at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that would be so cool, and I would love to see Paradox do that because Paradox has always been like at their core they've been really good at finding games that are like infinitely replayable without being repetitive. Like that is something that they're really good at, and I mean that's The Sims in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope they can do that. And always, I mean, maybe I'm biased because I'm Swedish, but it's always fun to see a Swedish studio do well. So I wish them all the best with it. So do you guys have PlayStations?
No.
No. And then you don't have PlayStation Plus either, I'm guessing. I have a PlayStation 4. I don't have PS Plus. Should probably. But this kind of and like if it wasn't for the fact that I already bought Minecraft Dungeons for the PlayStation because my son really wanted to play it, then I would definitely be interested in this in getting PlayStation Plus because I mean Minecraft Dungeons is amazing. I mean it is basically like a Diablo-ish style game, but set in the Minecraft world. So obviously kids will love it. But it's really fun. I mostly play it on we have it on PlayStation, but I do honestly mostly play it on my phone with Game Pass Ultimate, and then using touch controls because it has really good touch controls. But yeah, don't sleep on that one. So that's coming to PlayStation Plus, and I have no idea with the clouds which games are on cloud and which are not. We're also getting Battlefield 2042 and Code Vein, which is a team up with an AI partner or friend in co-op multiplayer. Yeah, I have no idea if any of these are on PlayStation Cloud because they never say, and it's annoying. But I mean, if someone has a PlayStation, feel free to check out if any of these are on cloud, and let me know in the next week maybe because I do want to know, but I don't currently have a subscription myself. And I think, I mean, I haven't played any Elden Ring, but I think both of you have, right?
Yeah.
I remember hearing both of you talk about it.
Oh no, I have not.
You haven't? Okay, so but you have.
But I have watched other streamers gameplay of it. It's a really cool game.
So Martinez, will you dive in and play the DLC?
I haven't even beat the base game yet, so I'm definitely.
Okay, let me rephrase that question then. Will you be buying the DLC?
I'm sure I will. Yeah, I think that's definitely one of those things you got to pick up. I mean, the base game was just so incredible, obviously, and so I'm excited to dive into that once I get there for sure.
Yeah, and I got is it just me or like this logo that they're running that font looks very much like the Lord of the Rings font, especially and then Lord you could just say Lord of the Ring Shadow of Erdtree, and I was like, yeah, that's it. Oh, so it's a cool. It's the next game in the Lord of the Rings Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War theme. No, it's okay. It's not really. So yeah, I mean, excited. I haven't played Elden Ring either. It's not my style of game, but I mean, for I know it's a massive game for a lot of people out there. So
Yeah.
for those of you who have finished Elden Ring, congrats, you're getting more. Um, but then we get into, I think this was I had like I skimmed through this a bit before the show. So like Sony has basically and like laid out the how they're going to try to make PlayStation the best place for third party things as well, like not only first party. Because I mean they're getting a lot of praise for the first party stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like they are really trying to hone it, like also now like get out there that no we're also good for third party, like Ubisoft, EA, all of these like all the indies. Um, so on over at gamingindustry.biz there's a big article with someone from PlayStation talking about just that sort of thing. So if you we're not going to go through it all here, but if you're interested in learning more about the PlayStation's strategy for third party games, that's all out there. So yeah, but all I mean, speaking of third party and PlayStation, PlayStation has been ordered by the courts to produce all third party contracts from 2019 to like for like the last 4 years, and give them to Xbox. I wouldn't maybe agree with the hashtag thing there. That feels like a bit more too much of a flame war thing going happening,
Yeah.
but I do look forward to seeing what this what comes out of this. So you get, like I don't necessarily care that much about what they have been gatekeeping and what they haven't, but I mean I am interested to see, like, learn more about it, what's going on behind the scenes, and see
Yeah.
see what happens with it.
And I think the biggest thing that's coming out of this whole thing is really, where they're forcing these companies to show their hands. They're forcing companies to give a little bit more to us as the consumer. So in the end, we're all winning. Whether you're a
Yeah.
PlayStation fan,
I
Xbox
mean,
fan, doesn't matter.
definitely. I mean, in a way, I would say Xbox and PlayStation both, like they might be both losing with this, but we as a consumer, we're definitely winning.
Right.
I think Clive was into this last week, I think it was, or maybe the week before, when we like on top of how the like these government bodies, they might be like, I mean they get their fingers in the way of everything, it feels like at some point sometimes, but at the end of the day, like what they're out to what they're working for is the consumer, like what's best for the consumers, and if that is making sure that we as consumers get access to Microsoft games on the FN, or if it's just giving us access to what's information on what's happening behind the scenes, that's I think is a good thing. So yeah, so Xbox firm will receive PlayStation exclusivity contracts and 4 years of company records in preparation of the trial, which is obviously, I mean, Xbox people must be very happy with that.
Yeah.
Hey Ninja, welcome, and as soon as you're able, feel free to jump in. We love to have you on. So yeah, we are obviously it's gonna be interesting to see see what comes out of it. Sony scrapped some of Microsoft's requests as obvious harassment even, but no, FTC is like, nope, you gotta give it over. Sorry. So yeah, it's over. It's over 150,000 contracts with around 60,000 companies.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
Or I mean that is the database in total, so they're getting like the last 4 years of that, which is probably most of that anyway, because I'm assuming most of these contracts are kept pretty much up to date.
Right.
It's definitely, yeah, it's gonna be a lot. So
a lot of work for all the paralegals to like read through all that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so. And the request to deny access to Jim Ryan's declaration to the FTC denied. So they're gonna get, and then limited But they did get like PlayStation did get approval to limit the period of
Right.
search from, because initially it was like no, everything from 2012 and forward. No, from 2019.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
like
probably a
we're
good
really
thing.
shady back then. So
Yeah, exactly. And there's also they were like, can we limit the scope? And I'm like, no, no limit of the scope. Can we exclude Lin Tao and Hidetaka Nishino as custodians? No. So Sony Sony basically said like, but Tao's files are already Japanese. That will add a lot of time and expense for searching through them for both of us. So, like, everyone's like, no, sorry, deal with it. It's got like whoever wins this, the lawyer bills is going to be massive.
oh man.
It's gonna be yeah, it's like 1 million per week, and it took us 5 years to go through.
Man.
Yeah, it's gonna be massive. Let's see what else, and then exclude the in-house antitrust lawyer. Nope, you can't do that. Yeah, I mean the only thing basically that Sony managed to get through was limiting the time period search.
And you know what? Like, to be honest, like I was kind of kidding earlier, but to be honest, that could have been a huge win for them. You know, they might have been like, okay, if there's one thing that we need to do is we cannot give them that much.
Yeah,
You know, their records or whatever.
exactly, and also I mean I think it's also like reasonable that they didn't give access to had them don't have to give access to employee performance reviews and evaluations, because that's like, how is that relevant to any of this? Come on, Microsoft, that was never supposed to be in there. It's good that Desi was like, no, you don't need that. Shut up. And then licensing agreements in part because they basically said that it's going to be only limited time span. Yeah, this is going to be massive. It's going to take a couple of weeks probably before we start seeing some of these like leak out to the world. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And look who we have here, Mr. Ninja X.
Ninja.
Sec, I can't hear you guys. Give me a sec here.
Yeah, sure. While you get your audio going, I'll load up the next story here.
There you
Right.
go. I hear
Oh,
you now.
awesome, we can hear you. So then, anything you want to add on the Activision Blizzard lawyer thing?
Oh my gosh. Where to start? Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
4 years of all the contracts with third parties. Damn.
Oh man, it's crazy though. Like, wait, are we talking about all the contracts Xbox has just done with everybody in that? Yeah. That's...
We were talking about the fact that FTC has decided that like Microsoft has to get access to all of these, like basically all the contracts that Sony has made with everyone in between like 2019 and now.
That's crazy.
And more stuff on top of that, like things like you know, personal documents from like really high ups and things. So yeah, a lot of stuff. So basically, the only thing that like Microsoft requested things, a lot of things. Sony said, "This is outrageous. Like this is like, there's no way we can give you all of this." And the FTC was basically like, "Right, we'll limit the search to the last 4 years instead of the last 10 years, and you don't need to give them like employee reviews and evaluations, but everything else, hand it over."
Oh my
Which
gosh.
is, I mean, honestly, I think in a way that's probably more valuable than this entire deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not want to be a Sony lawyer at this point.
No. Like it's so hard to have like Sony and Xbox doing deals because, well, first, you know, Sony is the bigger income out of these two companies, and Microsoft is trying to, I mean, being rivals, they're not going to be nice to each other, right? They're going to try to extract the most out of whatever they have. You know, oh, I have the opportunity, I'm going to try to get the most out of it, and that's where they just go back and forth. But I'm sure that they'll come to like an agreement at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I think basically what's happening is like they're both wrestling with knives, right?
Yeah.
When two people are wrestling with a knife, you can stab yourself. And I think that might have happened a little bit with Sony here You know, I definitely don't think at the beginning of this they expected that they would have to do this. So
No. And I mean, as Clive was, I think it was Clive I mentioned last week that, like, Microsoft having to get like granting these contracts to Nintendo and like Valve and GeForce Now, it's like, yeah, but that didn't cost them a single thing. Like, it's good for the public eye. It's good for, I mean, consumers, but like in actual cost to Microsoft, nothing. Like, doesn't cost them anything to like say, yeah, no, sure, we'll throw our games over there as well. Why not?
yeah, and not even didn't it's not going to cost them, but really them kind of bridging that gap is going to end up making them money in the long
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
You know, especially like, you know, I think Clive talked about this too, but you know, you think about like COD on PlayStation, it only makes sense for Microsoft to have it over there and sell it for $70 a pop. I mean, that'd be silly to not, you know. So in a way, it's like, hey, look, we're putting our games everywhere, but it's like, you know, it's really just a smart business move that they can sell
and I mean,
in more
even if you go,
platforms.
even if like the EU or some or CMA or the FTC decides, like, you know, you're not allowed to put Call of Duty or World of Warcraft on Game Pass. It's like, all right, fine, we don't care. Like, it would have been nice if we could include it with Game Pass, but it's like, we're not allowed to with these ones. So hey, sorry guys, you got to buy them. People will buy them anyway. No, it's definitely like, I think so far it feels like Sony is losing more than Microsoft is on this deal, and not in terms of like just handing all of this over, the lawyer fees. Microsoft knew they were gonna have massive lawyer fees. I don't think Sony necessarily planned for these lawyer fees until after the announcement. I mean, Microsoft probably planned for we're gonna set aside like $250 million for the next 3 years because in lawyer fees. Sony didn't plan that. They probably set that aside as soon as they could, but
Right.
Yeah, pocket change.
yeah, I mean, for all of them,
Yeah.
especially Microsoft, but all, yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get into some more discussion based things, there is a massive bundle right now over a Humble bundle.
Yeah.
And all of the 100% of the proceeds supports earthquake relief in Turkey and Syria. So, like, by buying this bundle, for like, you pick the price, depending on the price you get a different amount of games. We'll get into the games you get in a minute. But basically, you buy this and you get, like, that money goes directly to supporting people who has been displaced by the earthquake over in Turkey and Syria, and it was a massive earthquake. Like, it's not one of the like, it's one of the bigger ones in recent years. So I mean, the benefit for you guys is you get games, and not a few games. We're talking. Let's see if we can get a number just by heading in here. I think it's
70-some. I'm not sure if they're all games, but there's like 70-some total of items. You know, like books. I think they have like Pathfinder in there, which is pretty crazy.
That's a bit broken.
Man.
So far, they've raised over €1 million through this, which is really cool. So yeah, it's 72 items. But I think that, like, this might be, they might be counting like Saga volumes 1 to 10 as 10 items, which is, you know, fair. I mean, Gotham Knights, pretty recent, pretty big game. And like, you pick the price. You can pay. I think you have to pay at least €28 to get all of this. And then if you pay less, then obviously some of these fall away. Some of the bigger titles. Ghost Runner, which was a big title. But, like, I think Gotham Knight isn't on GFN, right?
No, it's not. But it's on Boosteroid though.
It's on Boosteroid. Thank you. Good.
Yeah, if you want to play it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost Runner is on DFN and Boosteroid, I'm pretty sure. Pathfinder, this is the Kingmaker, which is the digital edition. So it's like a pen and paper RPG taken to the digital world, and then we have the core rulebooks for Starfinder.
Oh, it's Starfinder. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I think they also have Pathfinder in there, though, to be honest.
Oh, there. Okay, cool.
But yeah, and then the Sagas, which is also some, I don't know if that's a visual novel, maybe. You have XCOM 2, Payday 2, Ticket to Ride, Strange Brigade, Euro Truck Simulator 2, Stick Fight, the game, Farming Simulator 17 for some reason. I mean, they have released new ones since then, but all right.
There's your game right there.
Yeah.
System check.
Yeah, but it's the enhanced edition of the old one. so it's not the new one that comes out.
Oh, okay.
If you want to play the original but don't want to play it in like super bad graphics, you can get the bundle and try it out first with the like slightly better graphics, and then go back and play the new.
Both. It actually includes the original and the enhanced edition in that bundle.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't include the remake that comes out in like.
Oh
2 weeks.
no! Yeah. Okay. You're right. Yes.
But like definitely play the original before you play the remake. Then you can really see the difference. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, and then also the sequel is all included as well. Pilgrims, Flint, and Crimson, Into the Pit, Mountain Blade 2, Mountain Blade 1 Warband, which is an amazing game. I think I have 500 plus hours in this one.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I mean
Look that
Mountain Blade
up.
2 Bannerlord is better because it's newer. Support, like it looks like Mountain Blade has never been a series with good graphics, and Warband has Bannerlord has really good graphics compared to Warband. But that said, Warband and Bannerlord is all about the gameplay, and the gameplay is you round around this right around this like 2D map, and then you go into third-person battles with like 500 people on each side, and that doesn't stop being fun just because it looks kind of old. So Warband is incredible. It's actually made by Turkish studio based in Ankara. Harmonious Odyssey, Worms Rumble, Armello, Backbone. Then you have the 911 operator or 112 operator. Depending on
Oh yeah. I don't even know what that is.
112 operator.
Yeah.
It's basically like over here in Europe we have 112 instead of 911.
Oh okay.
That's the emergency number over here. So
see.
like in the 911 operator you play. Like I think it's pretty much the same game, but in 911 you play in North America, like cities in North America. It's like basically a management game where you play an operator, like an emergency center operator, and
So-
dispatch things, and it's like, oh no, I need to dispatch another ambulance, but I don't have any free ones because they're all over there.
I might need to tell
Dispatching
N7 about that.
Yeah,
'Cause he
definitely.
was, because he was.
And then
a
there's also
dispatch
an-
on a GTA. What do they call it? RPG server.
Yeah, that would be
Nice.
Cool.
I mean, the 112 operator is basically the same, but you can pick cities in Europe.
And you speak British, most likely, right?
I have no. I actually have both of them. I haven't played them yet.
Oh.
I have both of them. Calico, X-Morph Defense Complete Pack, Zombie Driver HD Collection, Space Crew, Legendary Monaco, Death Squared, Lost from Beyond,
Yeah.
Stygian.
Good games.
I mean, it's a massive list of games.
Gunsport right there.
Yeah, Gunsport.
Nice.
That's. I loved Gunsport.
It's
Played-
really good.
Yeah, I played a bunch of on Stadia, but I haven't picked it up on any new platforms since Stadia closed. This is a hyper version, which is even better.
Yeah, an upgrade. There's at least 15 games in there from GFN. Just to let you know. So if you want to
Chris Tales.
build up, Chris Tales. If you want to build up your library, it's right there.
Yeah, and I mean, you would all of your money would go to helping people who's living in the middle of this crisis anyway.
Yeah.
So, Direct Relief, International Medical Corps, and Save the Children. I mean, it's a no-brainer really if you to splash out for this bundle in a lot of ways. And I think, and if you're hard pressed for money, I mean, you can just go, you know what? I just want to give, let's say, €1. Okay. Oh no, you can't. Okay, so you actually need to go at least 28. You can go as high as you want. So 28.3 is the least you can spend on it. But then you get all of them. So they don't have any.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely check this bundle out. It's
a big one.
Really big one. We also mentioned before that Prime Gaming had some new games coming final out. They weren't there 2 hours ago when I checked, but apparently they're out now.
I just claimed some. I don't know if I actually claimed them. These ones actually. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, that bundle, I purchased it actually, and I decided to install all the games on my desktop, and now my desktop is just filled with icons. I think I have like 5 spots left on there.
How much storage do you have on your PC if you can do
I have an external hard drive, so it's I use
okay,
my
it's all on that.
gaming installations on that. But the bigger games, at least, they're all on like GFN and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry too much about that.
Yeah.
It's loading really slowly today over here. There we go, finally. So, weekly games. It's so weird. They switched to weekly, and then they still like have a bunch of them. Are still like only like monthly, and then
It's
weird.
confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, like they add a few every week, but then every month they do like, let's just sweep it all out, and then you start over. Or maybe they have it. Okay, so there's a bunch of games you can, like if you have Amazon Prime, then you automatically also have Prime Gaming. So just head over to gaming.amazon.com and you can claim like a bunch of games. And I mean, some of these are older games, smaller games, indie games, but then again, every now and then you have some bigger ones. I mean, if fans of Stadia, one hand clapping, it's on here. Currently free to claim. And it's basically just hit claim, and then for most of these, you need to download their launcher on PC. But some of them you get like a key for like Epic or
GOG or yeah.
or GOG or something. Or Steam. But most of them are not. But yeah, this one, Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition.
Oh my gosh.
Claim
I'm excited.
it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that
I
wasn't
have
there
it.
this
I'm gonna
morning.
claim it
I'm
anyway.
very excited. Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh,
So yeah, definitely claim that. And while you're in there, why not like if you check out the in-game content page as well, maybe they have a game in here that you play, and then you just get some free cosmetics or something. Always worth going in there like once a month or something, just to see if there's anything fun. Because there's a lot of it.
Oh
Like,
my
you
gosh.
play. You play Forspoken. You want to have an ugly cloak? It's free. Why not? Yeah, I've got to grab some like
Fall
Fall
Guys.
Guys stuff.
I'm playing that right now, Fall Guys. Like, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Fall Guys is. I actually bought some Fall Guys stuff content for my son. Like I actually spent money on Fall Guys this morning. Basically, my son has he loves Fall Guys, but we have this problem where he plays a lot of it, and then I mean after like one or two games, he usually gets really emotionally invested in not winning, to the point where he starts crying over not like. He's like, I'm so bad. Like, no, dude, you came to the like you almost made it to the finals. You're 7. Like most people, like I don't get to the final in most games. And I mean, I know it's hard. Like, I mean, he's a kid,
Yeah.
so I get it. But then yeah, like so when he lost a tooth, he was like, can I ask the Tooth Fairy to give me like the season pass for Fall Guys? So like, you know what? Yeah, sure. So yeah, I actually bought it the season pass for Fall Guys this morning.
It's like, but I have to let you know, just because you have the season pass doesn't mean you're gonna win every match.
I know, exactly. But I mean, also he's been
Make
playing
you
so
better.
much. Like, not even kidding. He started playing Fall Guys on the Switch 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I think he's achieved level 70.
Oh my
in
gosh!
the season
Wow.
pass. So like, so when we like, I think it was like 40 things unlocking right all at once. It was like Christmas. Like
Yeah.
he got. I think he went from having like 5 skins to choose from to having like 20.
You know, so pro dad tip, if you really actually go through the whole season pass each season, you make enough coins to get the next season pass.
Yeah,
like most,
he
you know?
has already.
Okay. So yeah, it's like you really don't have to spend money, but like sometimes at the end, like if he's really close, I'm like, all right, I'll jump on and spend a few hours, help you out, knock out
Yeah.
the season pass, doing special
But
side
also-
things.
Yeah, but also you can do things like, I mean, like this time, like I bought this initial pack, and that will give him, I mean, that gave him this season pass and enough coins to then, because he's not completed so much of it, to then get the next season pass as well. Because I mean, a lot of these, like if you have the season pass, you get enough coins to get the next season pass if you just like reach like level 80 or something.
And you don't spend any on stuff.
Yeah, and the most interesting thing was I found also like they had these like get these 2 skins and 600 coins, and then they had so they had 2 of those, and that cost the same amount as just buying 1,000 coins straight up. So like I get 4 costumes and 200 extra coins for the same price. Like why would I not buy that?
Yeah.
So yeah, he was very happy this morning when he signed into Fall
And it's
Guys.
like, and that's why they're rich.
Yep.
Why would I not?
Yeah, I mean it was yeah they're really it's going really well for them. And I mean Fall Guys is like it's fun for everyone.
It is.
I love it.
So-
I play weekly, but I always do private matches, so I basically don't progress into any kind of like season pass
Oh,
or
man,
anything
I
like
don't
that.
know. I go we just go standard rotation, just go head straight in.
Yeah.
I started to be like, can we please play one game that's like you and me on like on the duo team, so that we can. So then if he has a bad game but I have a really good game, yeah, I fell for the trap exactly.
Yeah, Winston.
But I mean, if I have a bad game and he has a good game, or vice versa, we can maybe then, if we're lucky, carry each other every now and then. So that's why,
Yeah.
like, and so I really like doing that. But he's like, he doesn't think that that is as fun. But it's like, dude, but then like when I like clear a level and you don't, then you get really sad. And it's like, yeah, but I don't want to. Yeah, so at some point it's like, yeah, like he gets to like the second round, and then like, you know, I get to the finals, and like, here you take my controller, play in the finals. So he's playing on the Switch, I'm playing on Boostroid with the Kishi streaming to my phone, and it works really well.
Yeah.
So, for Fall Guys, how many people can play multiplayer? Like, does that work?
60 in a match.
60 in a match, so you can invite.
I think you
60
can be
of your friends
4
and
in a
play?
group. Like you can be 4 in a team, and like because there are some team-based ones that are
Okay.
like emotes. But you can host like a private match, and you can, I think, invite up to 60 people. So
Yeah.
perfect for a
Oh.
game night. And it's free to play as well.
Nice.
It's free to play. It's available on
Awesome.
pretty much everything. It's available on Boostroid if you don't have anything to play it on.
Oh, then we might have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. for
I,
sure.
like I will stay up to like past midnight to play that with you guys.
I'll bring the Skarmy to your stream.
Do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
let's yeah. We heard it right here, folks. We're doing a CGTV Fall Guys game night at some point. So
Nice.
Yes.
very soon.
Yes. We'll get to maybe not this weekend, but next
No,
weekend.
no, it's
I'll
good. Not this
start.
weekend. I'm busy this weekend. I'm playing. I'm actually meeting up with some friends and playing Twilight Imperium, the board game.
Ah,
Ah.
It's a at least 10-hour commitment.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Just like 1 hour, granted, is to set like you know, set up the board. It's
Is it
1
like
hour.
Monopoly and like friendship breaks? Like when playing?
No, it's actually not. They managed to get away from that quite well. It's like it's basically like this epic sci-fi saga. You all play each an alien race, and then you like build your hexagonal galaxy, and then you try to vie
Oh,
for control of the galaxy. But then you, the thing is, like, you can control half the galaxy and still not win, because the way you win is by gathering victory points, and that's how you do that. Is kind of randomized for each game. There's like a couple of different, usually like enough different way. Like you can get like 20 different points throughout the game, and for like first person to 10 points wins. And it can be like, oh, this game is very tech focused, and then the guy who chose the tech team is like, yeah. And then another time it's like, oh, there's not a single tech victory point. Instead, you have to like build different kinds of ships or conquer different planets, and it's like, oh, then another team might be very happy. So it's but then it's like you go, there's a political thing, like the political track where you do like basically a politics mini game with some social deduction in it as well, and then like that adds or changes the rules in the game. That makes it, suddenly you can fly, like you can travel between these points, which you couldn't do before. And like, yeah, it's so much fun. But it takes like an hour to set up and then like 10 hours to play.
Oh wow.
At least in our group. So it's
Yeah.
like we meet up twice a year, and we're like, let's set aside a whole day, and then you just play this for 10 hours, and then we'll head home and then we meet up like 6 months later to do it all over again.
I like that it's different every single playthrough. That's the best type
Yeah.
of board games.
And
Yeah.
there's like, so I think with the expansion we can be 8 players, but usually it's 6 players, so we're only 6 players playing. But like, so it's basically 6 players, and I think there's like 20 different teams to pick from, and you randomize the map each time, and then there's like you randomize the victory points systems with like 50 different ones or something like that. And there's like hundreds of different action cards. It's so good, and so
Nice.
good from the replayability. That's why I'm surprised there haven't been a digital version. Just
That'd be cool,
that would-
yeah.
yeah. I mean, there is technically through tabletop simulator and mods, so you can play it that way. But yeah, no, I love I love board games in general, but Twilight Imperium is one of the best ones.
Nice.
Probably
So
fine.
keep that in mind.
Second
Yeah.
favorite. But yeah, I was thinking. I was talking to a friend before the show, and we're going into the discussion of like, is video games art? Is it an art form? And like, should it be considered an art form? And like, what comes with it being an art form? And I mean, just let's go around the table. What do you? First of all, would you consider video games being art?
I think so.
Next. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, I think so. Look at games like like that Scorn game, for instance. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
like weird and odd, like even kind of grotesque. But I mean, it's not. It's something out of like a fantasy type. Like that is art. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really saying what.
It makes sense.
I mean, I agree. And I mean, Scorn is a really good example as well.
Would you
Yeah.
say, Lo-Fi, that all games are an art form?
Yeah. I mean, in essence, you're looking at somebody's a projection of what was in somebody's mind. Like somebody came up with the concept, and then they put it in your hands. So now, yeah, that's art.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martinez, what do you feel?
I think like definitely different aspects of it. Like I think a game in a whole has to be broke up into different chunks. You know, there's usually sometimes it's a one man show or a couple, but I mean when you think of some of these, you know, let's say like a triple A game. You know, there's hundreds of people that work on the game, and I wouldn't say each specific person what they do and what their job is art, but I think there is different things like, you know, and especially there's games that are it's all art, like it's in an artistic style that the game looks and feels. So I mean I think that's definitely art. You could even break down like, you know, it's a mix of like art and science when you think of like the actual story of it or like the lore of a specific game. um, but I mean I don't know if like a game as a whole is necessarily, I would say, art, but I think there's different like aspects of it that are definitely art, and I would consider the person who created it and like Lo-Fi said, like thought it up in their head and all that type of stuff as an artist.
Yeah. Ninja, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna repeat probably Martinez what he said, but with different words, I guess. But yeah, basically, video games are just like a combination of things that are combined together for different kind of art, right? Like there's art for the music, art for the graphics, art for the storytelling, the art for all of these, and some people. And you know what Martinez says, you know, it's not built to be a form of art, it's built to be a form of entertainment. So that's what's crazy about it, right? It's for entertainment, but all of it is together is just a mixture of art, which is amazing.
Yeah, I like the French Canadian way to say what I said better.
Yeah, and I think like I mean I agree. I think games, or I would say rather the games, like all games are entertainment, but games can definitely be art.
Yeah.
Right.
That like you have, especially in the indie scene, there's so many like
Yeah.
games that are, I would say, are like pieces of art, but like definite art pieces, and are like set out to be so from the get go. In some cases, it's like a happy accident. Whereas in the AAA space, I mean, sure, just like you can, like, would you say that, for example, like the new Ant-Man movie, is that art, or is that entertainment? I mean, there is definitely art involved in making it, of course. Like I'm not saying the concept artists and like everyone
I would
involved in
say
making those things.
For me,
are-
almost like it's almost the same thing because it's like entertainment itself is an art. You know, because
Yeah.
like when you're in school, they would say like, "What, you're in theater arts." You know, like it's it's hard to pull the two apart. But
yeah, no, I see what I mean.
I
No,
don't know.
but also, yeah, but I feel it's also like some of them are definitely easier to say like this is definitely art, whereas some are more like I mean it's some are.
I would think
entertainment
it's
first, and
harder
some
to
are-
point out, at least in my eyes, it's harder for me to point out a game that I can't consider art. Like
Yeah,
I'm
and I
trying
mean-
really hard to think of a game that I wouldn't consider art, and I
Yeah, and I mean
can't.
at the end of the day, it's all like, I would say it's all in the like, it depends on how on the viewer of the art, of course, as well. But also a lot of these are like, take Fall Guys, for example. Like there's definitely a cool art style to it. It's definitely a fun game. But like I don't think they
Are
set
you familiar
out
with
to...
Dwarf Fortress?
No, I don't. I've never heard of that.
Ooh, really? You might be interested in that, Bjorn.
Yeah, I think you really would.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Dwarf
recently,
Fortress.
it
I
just
was
got
thinking
graphics.
Yeah, no, Dwarf Fortress. I heard Dwarf Fortress like that. I never heard of
Oh.
Dwarf Fortress. No, Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, definitely. I haven't played it, but it's one of those like I so want to like sit down and really learn it and buy like, but I don't want to spend money on it before I know that I have had time to do that. So when the kids have moved out, then maybe.
But like
Yeah,
now, it just now got graphics, and it's like, okay, well, that's obviously art. But like even before then, looking at what the system they had, it was like that was art. It's
No, yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't have to look a specific way to be art. But if it's like, I mean, a game like Fall Guys or a game like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, they are built to be fun entertainment. Like, and I mean, obviously to make money as well, but I mean, fun entertainment first of all. And I mean, I wouldn't maybe consider those to be art because I mean they're just about having fun. That's all.
Yeah.
That's
right,
all
like one of
there
those
is
things
in
you
a
drop
sense.
a coin in, and it has those things that like push coins, and you try to knock off. Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but in a way, yeah.
Like it's entertaining. At best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
funny
I mean,
because
it's-
it's
or
like,
like slot
unwillingly
machines.
art. Yeah. Yeah.
You
slot
know,
machines.
like the games that are like slot machines and stuff like that. You know,
Are casino
it's just-
machines art?
Yeah, casino machines if you're playing them. No, but I definitely think it doesn't necessarily matter like what the art style is, but I think some developers definitely push that as a big pull to their game. Like, look at our art style; it's unique, it's cool, it's this, it's that. You know, like when the puzzler on Stadia Lamote, you know, like it's in your face of like, wow, look how beautiful, you know, all these different levels are and the lights and everything like that. So it's definitely like artsy, you know. But then if you think of a game like FIFA, I don't think like there's anywhere in that game that something's popping out at me like, whoa, look at this art, you know, like
There is a
it
bit-
it
There
just
is a lot of
doesn't.
elements of theater to it, though. You know, like
Yeah, that's true, and there is story.
Like the fact that it takes so many people to come together to pull the whole entire
yeah,
vision
definitely.
off.
But I feel
You know?
like at least I mean, I would say games is definitely art. However, not all games are maybe like I don't think should consider all games as to be like an artwork in the same way that we don't consider all films to be an artwork. Like some films just set out to be like popcorn Hollywood blockbusters, and that's all there is to it. Like I mean, yeah, like most Marvel movies, there's a lot of art involved in making them. There's a lot of like they are, I mean they are, there's like, and I mean, I can see like you could argue that they are art in a way, but they are
Not
first
every
and
movie
foremost
is Clockwork
entertainment.
Orange, right?
Yeah, but like whereas Clockwork Orange is definite art. Like there's,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember you know reading film studies in high school and having to watch that movie five times in a week. I very much don't like that movie anymore. The first time I was like, oh, this is so cool and art, and then after like 3 times, it's like I hate this movie. But that's a side note. No, but it's like that, like Clockwork Orange. Yeah, that's art. Is Thor 2 art? Entertainment, yes, definitely. And I think games fall in that same category. And I think there are definitely. I mean, Scorn is a great example of a game that's art. I would say Braid as well. And I mean, Braid
Good
is
one.
I would say is a game, like artful game. Not as much in maybe. I mean, the art side is really cool, but like the way they tell the story, that's through game mechanics, I would say is art in that game. Whereas there's obviously different parts of art, but then something that comes with art is also like I mean some like it has to be able to be criticized and analyzed from all kinds of different aspects. And I think that's where games have maybe a bit of a way to go, because I think we are maybe not that open to that at all times. I think, I mean, if you complain that I mean, I'm sure you all remember the controversy about like Aloy in the new Horizon has, I think, was it small strands of facial hair or arm hair or something like that, and the internet went wild. It's like, first of all, everyone has that in real life. Second of all, you can the fact that you can see that on the character is supposed to be really cool. And thirdly, it's a like post-apocalyptic, like almost Stone Age, back to the Stone Age style of game. I don't think they, one, bother to raise, like, to shave themselves, or to even have the means to do so. Like, but I mean that's sort of like the like stupid defensiveness and toxicity that I think other art forms don't really have, and I think maybe games need to chill down a bit on to maybe like be considered art outside of the art. I mean, I think all gamers would agree that games can be art, but I don't think, but like to be accepted outside of the gaming world, we might have to.
Yeah, there's kind of like a line
like that with that.
between like art and artistic games, right? Like there's games where they do the game with art in mind, and it is made to be a form of art. Meanwhile, you know, a good example, like you said, FIFA. Maybe they don't think of art when doing it, but it is like they did the game, but it like subconsciously it's like art because of, you know, they made something in 3D that's being projected to the screen, but unwillingly, you know, it's hard. So just
like like I think that's a good question too. Like I think this discussion's amazing, and I would love to actually talk to different people within like building a game, like the different devs or people working on it. Would you consider yourself an artist? And I guarantee you not every single one of them are going to say yes. Simpleton said games are 1,000% art. Anytime you have something that you don't have to replicate over and over again, then someone applied their smidge of nuance to it, then it's art. And so what I would say about that is I think everybody has like a Subway, right? That's like worldwide, isn't it? There's Subways or like sandwich like sandwich shops.
Yeah.
You know, and so they call their employees sandwich artists.
Yeah.
And so like if someone worked there, I don't know if they consider themselves an artist, but in a way, like just how we're talking about it now, we definitely could have, you know, a strong point to say yes, they are artists because they took all these different pieces and like they crafted this sandwich.
I think in the specific example of Subway, I would maybe say that Subway, because they have that like this is the teriyaki sandwich, this is the salmon sandwich, like this is the beef sandwich, like they have their like this is how you do it. Like, I would say
but me and you would do it different.
Yeah, but like if you go to a sandwich shop where it's maybe like what do you want on your sandwich, I'll make like what do you like, and then they'll like through like make an artistic choice and create the sandwich for you, and that would be art, I would say.
Yeah, but do you lay the meat like all flat? Do you do it like in a half? Do you do it like wrinkled?
Yeah, but Subway
how would you place the meat? You know, like
I actually had a friend in high school that we went to a live event, and he was called on stage, and they asked him, "What's your name?" and all that kind of thing. He's like, "What do you do for a living?" He's like, "Oh, I'm an artist." And they were like, "Oh, what kind of artist?" He's like, "I'm a sandwich artist."
That's so funny.
Simpleton right there, bartenders.
Yeah, bartenders.
You know, same
Great
thing.
example.
You know, you're doing the same drink, but there are better bartenders. The style that they do it in, the process, they're putting the same ingredients, but the process is different. Yeah, and then the way that they do it themselves physically, you know, it's this. I mean, you really could have like a good argument for a lot of things being art, you know, if you really wanted to push it. But I think like what Ninja said, I don't know if every game, if they're, you know, if that's a big focus of the game is like, I want my art style to come through to people. I want people to enjoy the artistic style of the game. I don't think that is every game.
That's,
for sure.
Yeah, that's really good. Real good thinking.
And I mean, if you asked 100 like level designers, is what do you do? Like, are you an artist? I think you would have probably 50-50, honestly. And
I mean, Vampire Survivor. Come on, bro.
Yeah. But, and then I mean, Ninja, you're a programmer.
Yes.
Would you consider that what you do art?
Well, I'll say yes because I'm proud of what I do. Right, when I feel like I'm giving my brand of, you know, my signature when I deliver something to a client or, you know, to someone.
No, but I mean, I would agree. Like code is also art.
It's like he said earlier. Like it's almost like anything that you put care into, you unwillingly become an artist in it.
Like this just came into my head right now. But so growing up, my dad had a landscaping company, and it was Martinez contracting, so it was our name on it, our family name was on it. He was very proud of like the work that we did all the way around. He had a very specific way that we cut yards, and the lines that we left had to be exactly perfect and precise. At the end it was picture perfect, right? Kind of like when you're doing the lawn mowing simulator. Like you really want to leave that like that, right? And like, so in a way, yeah, like if you are, if you're very invested in something, it really could become your own art. So almost anything really could be art, depending on the level of passion that you have into it, because you're going to focus on the tiny little details. And when you do that, like Simpleton said, like you are putting your own touches on it that you feel passionate about, that I did this, and you can look back at it and say, wow, this is beautiful. And that's what art is.
Yeah, it's like watching a chef. He puts all that work into it, and then at the end, to say what they did isn't art would be a shame.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, just that it's weird because an art is judged different ways. Like, like if you do the sandwich, all you're gonna do is eat it. You're not gonna inspect it with a turtleneck, right? And the sandwich is very particular.
Well, I mean, it's kind of fun to do that every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Did you imagine the guy behind the counter? He's like watching to see like what you think about it.
Yeah. I call this my sandwich of despair. Oh my gosh, the mustache.
Yeah, that would be fun. But then again, I mean, when I mentioned that this was something we might get into during the show, or just before the show, Lo-Fi mentioned that you've been working on something about separating the art from the artist. First of all, tell me a bit more about what the thing you're working on and when we can expect it. But
well,
let's get into that topic, because that's also an interesting topic.
I gotta buy me a copy page, just like everybody else. But I've been just writing some articles lately about like different controversies in games. Like we have the controversies with like Atomic Heart, controversy with Hogwarts and J.K. Rowling, and a game not that long ago that came out called High on Life that had controversies because of AI art that they've used in the game, but also because the main voice and the creator, Justin Roiland, is in a bit of hot water. But anyway, I've been writing about that stuff, and I'm kind of in the middle of working on something discussing being able to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, so
I think just sitting here now, one of the thoughts that came to my head is like human beings are a little illogical when it comes to this topic, because
we are.
Have you ever heard stories of like people that are on a soap opera and like their character's like a bad guy, and then they see people in real life, and real people in real life will tell them, I don't like you because you're a bad guy, and it's that's not me.
The actor who plays Dudley in Harry Potter, I think also to some extent Tom Felton, who plays Draco, they both talked about having problems with people going up to them and like talking to them as if they were like their characters and like bad guys. And I think didn't like the guy who played Joffrey in the Game of Thrones basically quit acting and basically just went down quiet life over the backlash that his character, because everyone hated his character with a passion, because
he did such a good job.
He was too good at his job essentially. It's definitely a problem for that happens, because we humans are, let's say, illogical. We honestly, humans kind of suck. So I mean,
people, what a bunch of bastard! Am I right?
Humankind. Yeah. But we kind of do it to some extent. But there's also good things, of course. I think it's like, and I mean, obviously for everyone, it will be like it's different for everyone. Like how easy it is to separate the art from the artist. I have I find it really easy to do. Just the same as I find it really easy to be like, this TV show isn't that good, but it has one element that's like it's a really good fight choreography, so I like watching the fight, so I'm gonna keep watching the show.
Hmm.
Whereas I have friends who like watch the same show and are like, yeah, that's really cool, but there's no character development, so I'm just gonna stop watching it because it's no fun. I was like, yeah, but this little aspect is cool, or like the music is amazing. I'm gonna keep watching this show because the music is amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've done that in the past, and I think like if you can do that easily, then you have an easier time to maybe. I think I'm just assuming that makes it easy for me to then go. I really don't agree with anything J.K. Rowling has been saying in public over the last couple of years. I still love the world of Harry Potter, and I still love the Hogwarts Legacy, and it's one of my favorite games so far this year, and I'm probably gonna play it for a long time. So yeah, I mean, you like, it's okay to like something where the artist is maybe not great, in my opinion. If
It
as
doesn't
long as
reflect you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you buy, I think it's also I think it was a TikTok video where someone had, when the like just before the release of Hogwarts Legacy, they had gone over to a transgender couple and asked them about like what's your take on this, and they essentially said like, are you buying the game out of spite for the transgender community? And they're like, no, then it's fine. If like, don't do it out of spite, because then you suck. But like, if it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but then again, that was only one voice in the big scheme of things. But I mean, if you can separate the art from the artist, I think that's generally like you will enjoy life more.
Yeah.
But it's not for everyone, and everyone draws a line differently, and
Yeah.
I think we as a community have to be okay with people drawing their lines differently, and
Right.
like if you draw your line here and then someone else passes because their line is over here, I mean, you gotta kind of have to be okay with that too, because their line is different. As long as they're not actively hurting someone, then I would
Right.
say it's like, yeah, I mean,
And I think going back to the logical thing is really important to remember too, because I think what I've seen a lot, which I'm not someone that's going to be like searching that sort of thing, but it's just obviously everywhere. You see negativity everywhere that you go. But
yeah.
what I've seen a lot of times is somebody will say, for instance, I'm not going to buy Hogwarts, right? Because of my feelings towards this person. And then what you'll see is people, then responding to that saying, well, then you probably shouldn't be actually
Using
owning
Twitter
this system.
or-
You shouldn't be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing, so it's okay if somebody views, purchasing Hogwarts as against like their morals, against like their, what they view as, moral or not. And then at the same time, if they don't think it's bad to own an Xbox, or if they don't think it's bad, to play Destiny because Bungie had a bunch of, people that were, abusing their employees and stuff like that, or whatever it is, it's like, that's up to them. If that doesn't bother them, but something else does, each thing can bother somebody else. This maybe affects their life or their family or loved one or something. So that's where their line is drawn in this instance. But then they're totally fine playing High on Life.
Well,
Or whatever.
yeah, that's kind of the aspect I'm coming from. Like, I enjoyed High on Life, right? Like, I played
Yeah.
it. I remember hearing the news, and I'm a Rick and Morty fan. I remember hearing the news and getting this bad feeling in the pit of my stomach, like, man, this is gonna ruin the show for me. But then realizing that he's not even really in control of that show. Like, there's other people working on it, and it's been on for seasons. He just a voice, and that voice is replaceable.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know what? This is gonna be okay. And then I started thinking about High on Life and how many people worked on it, and it just
Yeah,
I was like,
'cause
you know
especially
what?
with games,
It's not really
like,
gonna ruin it for me. And the thing is, it's just accusations. I don't know the truth yet. But then there's the elephant in the room with like Atomic Hearts.
Mhm.
Like, I worry, if I play this, does this go towards funding an award? Does
Yeah.
this go like that's
yeah.
That's
I
a
mean,
hard
first
one
of all,
for sure.
Yeah, that's first of all that, but also, I mean, I got a review key and I tried it out on stream, and it was like the setting alone feels like it is very weird to play a game set in like a alternate reality communist, like it's supposed to, I think, like the 50s, but in a Soviet high-tech like robot world. It was just like it was this weird feeling, like I don't like they even suggested in the like when I got the review key, like one of the recommendations from the developers is played in Russian, which is the way it was designed to be. I'm like, yeah, but that feels so weird. I don't want to do that. And it's
Yeah.
like it's like
And it's
and I get
like,
that it's
and
art,
it's
and I
hard
think
to
like
not.
in 10 years I might go back to this game and like, oh no, it was really cool. But right now it felt was like, I mean, the game wasn't for me at all. I realized as I was playing it, but also like it just felt
With
weird.
current world events, it's like it's hard to not take it at like, how is it not political? You got yourself winning the war,
Yeah,
and
I mean they started building this 5 years ago, and at that point there wasn't. I mean, there was
yeah,
conflict still.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Maybe
not
it's
gonna say there
just
was the
current
war because
events.
in a way there was still, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's weird. But it's just like the same thing with like one of my favorite metal bands, Sabaton. They made a. They were once invited to play a show in like funded by some like Putin friendly Russian oligarch.
Sure.
They played a show in the Crimea region, and I mean and then was asked about it afterwards, and because it was post, like it was obviously before the war, but it was after the Russians had taken over Crimea, was of course a couple of years ago, and they were like, I mean, said something along the lines of, when you were there, like it didn't really feel that they were, like feel that they were occupied. Um, and I mean,
Yeah,
maybe, and I mean that from a standpoint of we came in on a tour bus, we drove through the venue and then we drove out again after playing a fun show. And I mean, because then they won a prize this year. They actually won a prize this year of like the this year's basically, like we have a community of like science journals and scientists who give out a year prize every year to the best public educator of the year, and then they also have the Razzies of that award, like the worst public educator, the biggest spreader of misinformation
I'm just saying they're the bad guy in every movie.
yeah. But like they did that, like they actually won that prize for the lyrics, and then this story came up and they were like, are you gonna cancel their award? It's like, well, I mean, it was like everyone makes mistakes, and like that doesn't take away from the good stuff that they've done, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
weird.
like if the funding goes to the developers of Russia, it's not too bad. It's just if it, some of these amount goes to their government, then this is where it
And
gets a little
that's-
touchy.
Which
And
I
that's
mean,
where it's
technically, yes. I mean, but I think the other thing to think about too is, and the kind of cool thing is like on this panel we have like 3 different countries, here like represented, and then in our community, the Rokk show community, and then the gaming community is worldwide. There's people from all over the world, different countries, and obviously I think a good thing to remember is you don't agree with everything that whoever the ruling power in your country does or says.
and
You're
we
not
all-
going to
we all pick our
100%
battles.
agree with it, right? And so I think that we want to be really careful too of all of the people that live in Russia. They're not
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, let's.
Well, then I
you know,
also
let's
like
take
that's
over
also like I
Ukraine.
wonder, would the government allow them to sell a product here that funded a war that, you know what I mean? Like it's like,
And I mean,
how-
it's one of those cases. Like
Where does it
obviously,
stop?
the like Atomic Heart specifically. I mean, the developer is based in Cyprus. The publisher is Focus Interactive, which is owned by, I think, are Focus owned by Embracer? Maybe not. I think Focus might be Polish, or something like that. Or they're owned by Embracer, which is then a Swedish company. But either way, it's like there aren't any direct ties that would suggest this. What has been been said is that from my memory is that the developers have investors that are basically like Russian oligarchs or something like that. So like if those investors get money, and then those investors then take that money, give that. But if you're gonna look for all of those, like we as consumers probably shouldn't be expected to keep track of that. Like if that is the case, then I feel like the governments of the world the countries that we live in should maybe be the ones to say that then this is not allowed to be sold in our country. I think
Yeah.
we're not. We as consumers, like yes, yes, we should do our due diligence and research and things, but there is like some point we have to draw the line. Like if there's even if it's like confirmed or if it's just an accusation, if it's like there was this news story about this being the case, it's like, yeah, if I didn't know that, should I then be reprimanded for not like for
Yeah.
spending money on the game that I thought looked cool? Maybe not. Like it's hard to and I mean Atomic Heart specifically, I felt weird playing it. The setting, everything about it was just bad timing. I feel like that game,
Yeah.
like if I honestly, if I made that game, I probably would
Yeah.
have been like, yeah. So can we either rework it to be like maybe not Russia, but also first of all, but if we can't, then could we maybe do like could we do it? Could we just hold on it for like 3 years?
Yeah, they could
And
have
at least in 3
delayed
years.
it.
And I mean,
Yeah, because
if
Yeah.
you,
they
the
did that
rules
for
would
a
be
few
like,
games.
we'll pay you in advance, and then you can build something else for us, and then we'll release this in 3 years, and if we make money back on it, it's not great. If not, then yeah.
Did
like,
you guys hear
if
about
I
the
was
composer?
focused-
The
Sorry?
composer, no.
The composer for Atomic Hearts. He
Is that Mick
all the
Gordon?
money, yeah, Mick Gordon.
Oh, it's
money he
Mick. Is it
made-
Mick Gordon?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Music
all
was
the
great,
money
by the
he
way.
made from Atomic Hearts, he donated to the Australian Red Cross,
Nice.
because I guess they're doing a big effort in
Yeah.
Ukraine right now. So yeah,
Ah,
that was a
Mick is
big
awesome.
deal.
Yeah, and I
We
mean,
have quite a
as Rokk
few
points out,
scandals. The deputy minister of digital transformation for Ukraine has written letters to Sony and Microsoft and Valve requesting a ban on selling digital versions of the game in Ukraine. So
Yeah.
like they got quite a bit of scandals going on right now.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those like maybe that yeah. If I was focused the publisher, I would have held off on that game for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, it happens.
I
Happens
mean-
in movies all the time, and I get that it works differently in movies. But I mean, do you remember this movie called Hidalgo, which was basically
Yeah.
with the Viggo Mortensen, like being doing a horse race in the desert. That movie was recorded before Lord of the Rings. But then the studio was like, like we think it's a good movie, but we don't really think it will sell. Like based on because there's no name recognition on any of these actors. Like they had made it; it was done. And they're like, and we don't think we can bring in the audience right now with it. So they held on it for a few years, for like a year, and then they like, oh, Viggo Mortensen got signed for Lord of the Rings. Let's hold on. Let's keep waiting a few more years, and then when after Lord of the Rings had all come out, and Viggo Mortensen was a big name, they were like, yeah, now we release this movie.
Yeah. Oh, that happens
was
in
made
video
like
games
5 years
also.
before.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
also.
and I
happens
mean, it
in-
happens in games too, and I think this maybe should have been one of those cases. But at
agree.
the same time, I mean, how do you pay? Like, how would the publisher get their money back and
Yeah.
pay the developers their fair share of it right now? That is obviously harder.
And it's on Game
although
Pass,
not
right?
all-
So
Yeah,
like there must have been like a lot of contracts and that it's probably not easy to delay something like
Yeah,
that.
probably
these
not.
contracts.
Yeah.
And I mean, as Rokk points out in the comments, Tencent Saudi investment, like, are we as consumers like? I mean, I know before as well about
Well,
TikTok.
what happened with wrestling in that?
Wrestling.
I
What
think
happened
that-
with the best?
Don't they have in that like all? Don't they have Saudi investors in that or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, and like
Yeah, I'm
just-
sure like they're invested in almost every form of entertainment.
Yeah,
to be
Yeah, and
honest.
Tencent owns like 10% of basically every bloody game company in the world at this point. I
You're
mean,
crazy.
don't they own like parts of Valve, maybe not Valve, but like I know they own
Yeah.
like 10% of Paradox, and what they do is like, yeah, we own 10% of the stock, so we like when the economy is good to Paradox, and then it's good for us, and also we'll handle the distribution in China. And like previously, those games weren't available in China at all, so like win-win for everyone involved in a sense. Like, yeah, but those Tencent's versions of those that are released in China are of course then censored. Like you won't see like certain flags won't be in Hearts of Iron due to different censoring rules in China. Paradox don't care, like they don't do anything with that. That's all Tencent, because Tencent is publisher of their games over there, and that is basically Tencent. I think in most companies Tencent invest in, they then like included in that investment is, and we will handle publishing in I think sometimes Asia in general, but mostly in China. And it's also why like they did the same with Ubisoft, and now we're seeing a Assassin's Creed going to mobile based on ancient China and developed by a Tencent Ubisoft studio together with the Tencent studio. Tencent handling the publishing in China. So yeah, it's like no country has clean hands. Like a lot of people don't like Elon Musk. Elon Musk now owns Twitter. Are those people stopping using Twitter? Most of them complain about it, but they don't stop. Like you pick your battles at the end of the day. You can't like. I mean I get it. Like if someone feels like the battle, I'm gonna pick the battle of not getting Atomic Heart or not getting Hogwarts Legacy, then yeah, you do you. That's like I applaud you. I pick my own battles. Mine are obviously not the same. It's one of those cases where it's like no. I was gonna say you say this is like clean hands, but then I saw the poop emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You're clean hands. Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I think the other thing is it's actually awesome the way that we lined up this conversation, because we spent so much time focusing on, all the different tasks and all the hard work and the art put into different video games. So now when you think about all that and you put it into any sort of game, no matter where the game was created or where the developers are, there's some artists that are involved in creating that. And I don't think it's fair, personally, I don't think it's fair to blame these people that put their heart and soul into a game for 5 years for something that their country is doing, that they just happen to be born in or living in currently, because not everybody in Russia is Russian either.
Yeah, or not even that. I mean, because again, the studio behind Atomic Heart, they're Cyprus based. I mean, in this case, it's mostly like the people who paid them the salary got their money from someone who said like, we'll give you money and then you can give us money later.
Right.
And that person happened to be Russian.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate because when I was playing 9 to 5, for example, that game that was on Stadia, I was speaking to some Russian people, right? Like there was a few Russians playing that game, and when the war was declared or whatever, like they just stopped appearing on there, and it was sad because I was speaking to them and they were really friendly, and just being separated like that is just really unfortunate for the good people at least.
Yeah, I mean the people, the civilians back in Russia probably they're not having a great time.
No, I can imagine.
So yeah, hopefully the war ends soon and we can and things can turn back to normal. But guys, I think I went into this show like 5 minutes before the show. I did David have an idea for a main topic, and then we ended up being I think having one of the most deepest discussions we have on this show. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for doing this, and let's. I think it's time to wrap it up because we've been at this for 2 hours. So oh, and remember, the dictators are evil to their own people.
Yes,
that's a great wet line to end the discussion on. And let's go around the table and everyone tell people what you're up to. Let's start with you, Ninja. What's happening with you, Dave?
Well, after the stream, I'm gonna eat a hamburger. I just wanted to say that it's very important because I'm really hungry, and a good hamburger that's gonna be good.
Thank you for joining us over your dinner break.
Hopefully, it's like artistically made.
Yeah.
I want to see a picture of it later.
I'll put my signature with the ketchup there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you can find me Ninja Guy X on YouTube. I do a lot of first looks lately, but on Monday I do Fall Guys community streams. Anybody is welcome to join me.
For one of those.
Yeah,
it's
very late. It's very late. It's like at 9 p.m. my time, so it's like middle of the night.
Might be able to get up early and play a session before the kids wake up.
Yeah, that's true. And then on Tuesday we do Dark Tide with 3 of my friends, and then the highlight of my show, the reason I'm a content creator and I really enjoy it is iTai on Fridays. I do developer interviews. And I really enjoy it. This time it's going to be Saturday, and we're going to be interviewing the Setback developers.
Nice.
It's a very interesting game,
Cool.
And that's about it. I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up on my stuff. But keep looking out for stuff.
Nice. Yeah. I love seeing the iTai stuff.
Thanks.
No fight. What's happening with you?
Oh man, so I've been streaming on YouTube Shadow Warrior 3, and I've been streaming a little bit on Twitch with some Days
Oh,
Gone. But recently my computer went down, so I'm sorting out
Mm.
that situation. I've got a Shadow PC that I'm working on, so I just got to set up my stream and get everything connected, and I'll be back to streaming like normal, back to the same games. Yeah. But for right now, you can catch my Days Gone streams on YouTube also now. So
nice. How do you like Shadow Warrior 3 so far?
that was an unexpected gem. I did not know what I was getting into. I've never heard of Shadow Warrior.
Ah,
Like Shadow Warrior 3, I guess I'll just try it. It's the third one, whatever. And now I'm like, oh, I have to find out what happened in the first ones because the way it starts and just the characters, they're really good. They're
yeah.
really
Nice.
good.
Ah, I
Also,
love
important
this game.
question. The follow-up question: are you playing it on Shadow?
I will be.
Wah, 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 wah.
No, no. That calls for a.
Yep. I know the title of it now, and when I start streaming it, Shadow
Yeah.
Warrior 3 on Shadow. That's it.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Martinez, what's happening with you over at your place?
Yeah, so in 1 hour, me and a couple of buddies, we have a Star Wars podcast, mostly Star Wars. We're going to be streaming our show, and it's going to be Mandalorian episode 1 and the most recent episode of The Bad Batch. And so that's in an hour. And then
Yeah.
Hezekiah and I, we stream on his Twitch channel, which is Hezekiah's Toys and Games, usually over the weekend. And then Tuesdays now, we stream My Next Gen Gaming, which is Hezekiah and I's show here on the Rokk Show. So that's every Tuesday, and it's also streamed on his Twitch channel as well. But that's kind of what's going on with us. And then every Thursday, I'm here with
You're
Bjorn.
here. Yeah, it's amazing.
So, yeah.
I love having you here. Love having all of you guys here. But it's nice to have nice to have someone who's sticking this out with me each and every week from now on. And yeah, and as for myself, I don't know. I didn't plan on making the I was planning to take a week off from content creation after doing like 11 streams in a weekend.
Yeah.
And then I did a first look this during my lunch break today. So I ended up being home alone. I was like, no one's around. I can just eat a quick sandwich and then do a first look. So I did first look of a game. So I don't know. I am working on several scripts. I'm also working on making a written review for written reviews for the Cloud Gaming Catalog. Together with Jon Karin, who I hope also to get on this show someday. So yeah, it's currently writing a lot of scripts because in between things, and maybe I'll try to squeeze in a stream or a first look every now and then as well. Until I finish up those scripts, but yeah, scripts, videos, review about Shadow coming along. Baldur's Gate 3 preview and a bunch of other stuff.
Nice.
But yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
big shout out to Ninja Guy X, Lo-Fi Monk. Thank you guys
Definitely.
so much for joining, for hanging out with us. Always love seeing Lo-Fi's smiling face and Ninja, your smiling face as well. Yeah, always good to have you share a screen with you. It's always a pleasure. So thank you
I'm not
so
sure
much.
who smiles more, Lo-Fi or
You guys were inviting me.
it's a tie, I think.
Yeah, and the chat. Oh man,
Yeah,
the chat.
definitely.
Thanks for hanging
Thanks,
out with
chat.
us and staying involved. And I love always hearing everybody's opinion in chat. So
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to Rokk channel and all of these guys' channels so that you don't miss us next time. And I mean, Thursdays, the same time as always. We'll see you next week. Have a great day.
Bye.